If you ever said Bloody Mary's name in front of a mirror or attempted to communicate with an Ouija board, you are not alone. There are thousands of myths and legends passed down through generations which give instructions to summon or see the paranormal. In the modern world, these rituals have become games that are played by only the most daring or foolish participants. The reward of these games is an experience like no other. However, there is always a penalty. Following the rules can lead to a fate worse than death. If you want to gamble with a ghostly world, listen carefully and follow every instruction. 1. The elevator game. Discovered in Korea, the elevator game doesn't just allow you to experience the supernatural. Supposedly, this game allows you to enter another world. The elevator game became notorious after the death of Elisa Lam, a young woman whose body was found in a hotel water tank 1 month after her disappearance. Before her death, she was caught on camera behaving strangely in the hotel's elevator. Some believe that Elisa played the elevator game and disobeyed the rules. You must play the elevator game alone. All you need to play is a building that has an elevator going to at least 10 floors. Enter the elevator. Make absolutely certain that you are alone. If anyone gets on board the elevator, you must start from the beginning. First, press the elevator button to go to the 4th floor. Once you arrive, the doors will open, but do not exit the elevator. Repeat this step with floors number 2, 6, 2 again, and 10. It is critical that you remain in the elevator. Once you have reached floor 10, press the button to go to the 5th floor. Do not get out. When the doors open, a woman or teenage girl might enter the elevator. Keep your eyes down and do not look at her or speak a word to her, even if you feel that you recognize her from somewhere. The feeling is a lie. You don't know her. She is not from this world. Without looking at the girl, press the button to go to the 1st floor. If the elevator goes back to the 1st floor, the game is over. As soon as the doors open, get out. Do not look back into the elevator or speak to the girl, and leave as quickly as you can. However, if the elevator goes to the 10th floor, you can continue to play the game. If you get freaked out at this point, you can choose to go back down and end the game. If you choose to continue, you should exit the elevator at floor 10. The woman may try to speak to you or call you by name. Ignore her completely. No matter what you see as you explore the world on the 10th floor, try to stay alert. Your phone might not work, and some people report becoming extremely confused when they try to make their way back to the elevator. When you wish to return from the 10th floor, follow these steps. Make sure you enter the same elevator you arrived in. If you enter another elevator, you may never be able to go back. Press the same buttons you did to begin the game. 4, 2, 6, 2, 10, and then 5. Once you arrive at the 5th floor, press the button for floor 1. If the elevator attempts to return to the 10th floor instead, press another floor button to stop it, and then press the button to floor 1 again. When you arrive at floor 1, do not get off the elevator. Look through the doors and check that your surroundings look normal. If there is anything weird, even a weird gut feeling, press the number sequence again and repeat the process until you are confident that you have arrived on the right floor. Then you can exit the elevator and the game is over. 2. The corner game. A popular Japanese tale tells the story of 5 travelers who were climbing a mountain. One of the 5 was tragically killed, and the other 4 people carried their dead companion's body through a snowstorm to a nearby hut, where they planned to shelter. There was no heating in the hut, and frightened that they would freeze to death, the 4 travelers decided to summon the spirit of their dead companion to keep them safe until they could be rescued. The ritual that they used to summon the spirit is still remembered today. It has been repeated by daredevils across the world, who call it the corner game. The corner game doesn't need any resources, only an empty room and 4 participants. First, the room should be emptied, including removing any extra people or animals. All lights should be turned off, except for one. When each of the 4 people enters the empty room, they need to yell their own name 3 times. One person should be nominated to be the speaker before the ritual begins. After each member has yelled their name, only the speaker is allowed to speak, unless the speaker orders another person to speak. Then the door is closed and the light is turned off. Each person moves to stand facing one of the room's 4 corners. After all 4 people are standing in the corner, the speaker then counts to 3 and commands one of the other people to move 1 position clockwise around the room. This is when strange things may start to occur, which bring the ritual to an end. If an extra person seems to appear in the room, even though there are only 4 corners, the following steps should be taken. The speaker should tell everybody in the room to move toward the main light switch. Then, each of the original 4 people should quickly recite their name backwards 3 times. Once this is done, the light should be switched on, and all participants need to leave the room. Under no circumstances should they speak to the person who has appeared. If a person seems to disappear during the ritual, the speaker must order all people in the room to recite their name backwards 3 times, and then stand with their back against a wall. They must not say any other words. Then, the person who is standing nearest to the light switch should turn it on, which should make the vanished person reappear. 3. The 3 Kings Ritual. For the 3 Kings Ritual, you need a very large room in your house, such as a basement or a garage, which can be made completely dark. You will also need 3 chairs, 2 mirrors, a candle, and 1 item from your childhood that is important to you. It's a good idea to let someone know that you are doing the 3 Kings Ritual, so that they can come and find you if you do not return, or seem to be asleep. If you have not contacted them by 6 a.m. the following day, this person should take instruction to enter the room and wake you without touching you, preferably by throwing a bucket of cold water over you. Put all of the items in the chosen room at around 10:30 p.m. 1 chair should be in the middle of the room, pointing north. This chair is the throne. And the other chairs should be facing the throne, 1 on the left and 1 on the right. These chairs are for the queen and the fool. Put 1 mirror on each of these chairs so that the mirrors are facing each other. Test that the chairs and mirrors are positioned correctly by sitting on the throne. Don't worry, this part is completely safe. If you set up the chairs right, when you sit on the throne, you should be able to see your reflection in the corner of your eyes to either side. Then, cover the windows and turn off the lights so that the room is pitch black. When you leave the room, make sure you don't close the door. Then, go to your own room, set an alarm for 3:30 a.m. and a second alarm for 4:34 a.m. and go to sleep. When the alarm wakes you up, immediately go to the room you've chosen for the ritual and make sure you bring your phone. Light the candle, sit down in the throne chair, and stare at the darkest spot in the room without moving your eyes. If you have done everything right, when the time reaches 3:33, you should feel that someone else is with you in the room. No matter what you do not look anywhere but into the dark of the room. People report that the presences who appear in the room will answer any questions you have, as well as revealing details about your past. You will probably hear one voice coming from the Queen and one voice coming from the Fool. The Fool might lie to you and try to trick you, but the Queen will be honest. No matter what happens, do not move from your chair until the time on your phone reaches 4:34 a.m. Some people who have done the ritual report that you can leave earlier, but others say not to risk it. If you feel confused or disoriented, that's what the item from your childhood is for. It will guide you back to reality. 4. The Midnight Game. The Midnight Game is rumored to have begun as an ancient punishment for people who broke pagan laws and disobeyed the gods. Reportedly, some people who were punished in this way lost their lives, and others went mad. Now, the Midnight Game is still played by a few daredevils who believe they can beat the odds and summon the entity known as the Midnight Man. But play this at your own risk. To play the Midnight Game, you will need a piece of paper, a pen or a pencil, matches, a candle, salt, some of your own blood, and a room with a wooden door. More than one player can play the Midnight Game, but you can't share supplies, so everyone needs to bring their own. You will need to begin the ritual at 12 a.m., so begin preparing at least 10 minutes beforehand. All players should write their full name on a piece of paper, including their middle name, and then place a drop of their own blood onto it. Wait until the blood has fully soaked into the paper. Next, turn off every light in the house and go to the room with the wooden door. Close the door, put the pieces of paper in front of the wooden door, light the candle, and put the candle on top of the paper. This completes the preparation for the Midnight Game. You will need to knock on the door 22 times, making sure that the final knock occurs while the time is 12 a.m. After the 22nd knock, open the door, extinguish the candle, and immediately close the door again. The Midnight Man has now been given a doorway into your house. As quickly as you can, pick the candle up and relight it. Make sure you have a large amount of salt with you. Now, you have one simple goal. Don't let the Midnight Man reach you. If you can avoid him until 3:30 a.m., you will be safe. You'll know if the Midnight Man is near you because you might feel a sudden chill of cold, hear eerie whispering, or even see a jet-black figure of a man approaching you. If you notice these signs, move away as quickly as possible. If the Midnight Man catches up to you, your candle will go out, and you must light it within 10 seconds. Count out loud to make sure. If it takes you longer than 10 seconds or the candle won't relight, you need to pour an unbroken circle of salt around yourself. This will protect you from the Midnight Man. Supposedly, if you fail to relight your candle and do not pour a circle of salt, the Midnight Man will cause maddening hallucinations and possibly remove your organs from your body one at a time. There's a reason this ritual was designed as a pagan punishment. Once you are standing in the circle of salt, you can't leave it until 3:33. But the other players can continue to play. If you manage to relight your candle within 10 seconds, you and your organs are safe. Until the next time the Midnight Man approaches. When the time reaches 3:33, the Midnight Man will use the wooden door to leave your house. You can turn the lights on and exit the salt circles, and the Midnight Man will not hurt you. Some people report that even though they won the Midnight Game, they feel that the Midnight Man has watched them ever since the night they played. 5. Hitori kakarembo. One-man hide-and-seek. The final game is not for the faint of heart. Hitori kakarembo might just be the most dangerous paranormal game in the world. Coming from the myths of ancient Japan, this ritual is nicknamed one-man hide-and-seek because it involves playing a game of hide-and-seek with a doll. This might sound like child's play, but there is a twist. The game gives players instructions to allow an evil spirit to possess the doll, giving it the ability to move. Unlike the rest of these games, where you mostly just need to follow instructions, Hitori kakarembo requires a bit of work to set up. To play this game of hide-and-seek, you will need a stuffed doll, some report using a teddy bear, a sharp object, a needle and red thread, uncooked rice, a cup of salt water, and some of your own nail clippings or hair. You also need to have access to a bathroom with a bathtub. It is recommended to think of a good hiding place before you start the game, so that you don't panic once the game begins. Once you have all the supplies, you must give the doll a name. If it already has a name, you can just use that, but you must not use your own name. If you don't give the doll a name, the ritual will not work at all. After naming the doll, take all of your supplies and enter a bathroom. Make sure you are alone. Cut the doll open with a sharp object. Remove the stuffing, and then restuff the doll with the uncooked rice. And then use the red thread to re-sew the doll. If any thread remains, wrap it around the doll to make sure the rice always stays inside. Now, fill the bathtub with water and place the doll on the bathroom counter. Grab your sharp object and a cup of salt water. Then go to your hiding place. You don't need to hide yet. Just put the cup and the sharp object in there. After this, wait until 3 a.m. At 3 a.m., say this exact phrase out loud 3 times. Your name is it. Just to be clear, if your name is John, you'll say, John is it. Then walk to the bathroom where you left the doll. Put the doll in the bathtub full of water. Turn off every single light in your house, but turn on the TV if you have one. Close your eyes, count to 10 out loud, and return to the bathroom with your sharp object. Stab the doll while saying, I found the doll's name. Then say, the doll's name is it 3 times. Put the doll and the sharp object sticking out of it on the bathroom counter and run to your hiding spot. Hide as silently as you can, but make sure you don't hide for more than 2 hours. If the doll finds you, it will stab you, but it shouldn't find you as long as you stay quiet. If you find a place where you can see or hear the TV, you might notice strange images or sounds, or the TV might turn off. That means that the doll is nearby. When you want to end the game, fill your mouth with half of the salt water in the cup. Do not swallow it or spit it out. Then, run through the house to find the doll. If you're lucky, it will still be in the bathroom. But many people report that the doll is not where they left it. When you find the doll, spit all of the water in your mouth onto it. Then end the ritual by saying, I win, 3 times. Some people bring the rest of the cup of salt water with them and pour it on the doll as well. Dry the doll out with a hand dryer as quickly as you can, and then light the doll on fire. Make sure that the whole thing burns. Then pour salt over the ashes and throw it away as far from your home as you can. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I know there is a ton of content out there, and I'm sincerely appreciative for you watching this right through to the end. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and hit the like button. And if you don't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and select the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future uploads. Also, please leave a comment on this video, let me know what you thought of it. Comments really help with the YouTube algorithm and will really help my channel to grow. You can also let me know what type of videos you would like to see more of on this channel. That really helps me branch out into new subject matters. If you have a story you would like me to tell on this channel, please email it to me at stories@daredevril.com. If you want to support my channel even further, there are a number of ways you can do so. You can buy me a coffee via my Ko-fi account, or simply help me out by sharing my content with anyone you might think is interested in watching it. Thanks again.